So you have questions, okay, Bean, come on. So talk loudly.
If there is a mentor and his disciple should be only a child and not a man.
Oh, of course. Of course. But mentoring an adult is very difficult. Because he is already a developed tree. You know. That's why mentoring is difficult. Because mentoring is about the attendant spirit, your intellect is working in you. Is the point. In the direction of empowered intellect and empowered mind setting. Okay, genius. What I call it, genius in self. So mentoring is about basically making you a genius in self. Genius, let us say, if we take the common meaning of genius, a lot of people in the world think that genius is a person with a lot of, knowledge also. Of course, a genius has. So people say genius in physics. They say Albert Einstein was a genius in physics. So they are all telling you a lot about physics, chemistry, biology, history, all these things. Good. But nobody is telling you about the genius of the you, of yourself. Alright? Nobody is talking about the engines of your intellect. Nobody. I am the first one to talk about engines of intellect in this perspective for the first time in the world. A lot of great psychologists have already done a lot of studies and great understandings are there about. There are even books on attention itself. There are books on learning, 1,000 pages. That's there, but they are looking at it as separate engines, separate compartments, watertight compartments. In psychology, when they study and write about human beings, they write a chapter attention, next chapter perception, and there is a chapter on intelligence also. Okay, and nobody talks about intellect clearly. So I am telling this attention, all these things are true, but they are actually the engines by which you develop your intelligence, by you develop your original knowledges. If intelligence is about learning all those physics and chemistries and biologies and engineerings and technologies and humanities and philosophies that you learn in your school and college and universities, who created all those knowledge, They did not study in any universities and colleges. They discovered, they identified, they derived those things by looking, by focusing their attention and reflection on the entities and things and phenomena they came across. Like, you know how Newton, just looking at something falling, created the fundamental beginnings of physics, of science perhaps. Okay, gravity and all that. Alright. So in the beginning there was no science. In the beginning there was no technology of the things which you study in the rooms and learn in the libraries. So mentoring is also about creating your own knowledge, not necessarily about sciences and technologies. That you can learn. That you don't have to create in order to do most of the work. But to know the science and the physics and the chemistry and the anatomy and technology and all those things of your own self, you need your engines of intellect. Therefore, I defined attention, thinking, perception, observation, reflection, intuition, conceptualization and all as various engines of intellect, various gears, like you put gears, When I drive a jeep, you put the first gear, the second, the third, reverse and all these things. So the intellect is like that vehicle, that engine, having 25 main gears. The first ever gear itself is attention. It is with everyone. All these are with everyone. All these gears are with everyone, but they don't use the gears. They just go by their learned knowledge, intelligence. They apply their intelligence or intellect to that means little bit of attention, thinking, and reflection on how to talk about what they know. Even that is not there. They just talk. All this time engine is working, All these intellect engines will work till the moment you die. Intelligences will come and go, you will forget. Do you remember what you learned in class 1? 2, 3, 4, 5, no. Don't worry. You top university guys, they don't remember. Except those who are rotland and mugged up. And which are all of no use also. So they go on talking about it. That's all. They go on talking about the physics and chemistry and history and biology and politics and whatever they know. Which they have got it from somebody else. They are all right. But they have to create their own understanding. Because all those talkings are about the certain understanding, Mantraa. If people say life is beautiful, it is the one who talked about it is based on some understanding, some experiencing. Then he said life is beautiful. Whereas others are sitting down in the classroom and reading and understanding life is beautiful. Get the difference? They enjoy that sentence like you enjoy a film. You really enjoy a film, but you cannot create a film. So mentoring is about the child disciple making him or her capable of creating their own little films, little stories, little poetry, little dialogues, little responses, little record approaches and attitudes and mindsets and responses to the self, to work, to people and to themselves. Got it? Yeah. Any more questions? So what do you think? You like the role of a disciple?
Yeah.
What do you think? Many other children also will be interested. What do you think, Mantraa, Rishiga? What is your feeling?
About
Will they be interested in being a disciple?
maybe calm children can.
Maybe some children can, yeah. No. Every child will be. Okay? Nobody has told them about this. Child will be interested because child does not know what is a disciple.
But
You go on telling him, you go on interacting with him the way I am interacting with you, for example. You never knew what is a disciple, but I am interacting with you from a disciple perspective. You know? Yeah. That's why I could talk to you like this. In this 15 minutes, whatever I talk to you, I cannot talk to perhaps any other girl of your age in the whole world. You understand? Just because I have been mentoring you. You never knew what you have been mentoring through. Like you know what is a student. Therefore you decided to become student. Therefore you started to feel interested in becoming a student. You don't know. You don't know what even a student is. Millions of students in the world do not know what a student is. What are the required mind settings, the required engines of intellect for a student? Don't worry. Millions of teachers in the world also do not know what are the mind setting and responses of a teacher. What are the mind setting and responses and whatever that are hiding in the rudimentary expressions of the students. Okay. That's why I am publishing this book. Therefore, this book is also for teachers. And this book is also for a lot of trainers. There are a lot of trainers in the world now. Actually, most of them are teaching. And some of them who imitate some training, some activity, they just blindly imitate it. They don't know what they undergo, what they are doing. Perhaps I am the first one to differentiate between teaching and training by available evidences in the books. In fact, even real great trainers actually doing training, like Edward de Bono and all similar trainers, even they do not know what exactly is training, because they use the word teaching in their books. So this book is also for the trainers. And this book can also be read by brilliant children like you. Once you are started, once you are becoming a disciple, once you are already mentored to an extent, for example, when you are 15, 16, 17, you can read this book. So this book is required for you also, which will clarify what you have undergone. And then you can also become a mentor or a trainer or a teacher. Which is also essential, because everybody is a manager in your life. A great manager, a genius leader is a teacher, a trainer and a mentor. Get the point? So elder children also will be finding great advantages in reading this book, The Child Disciple. You are a child till the age of 18 by United Nations definition. Heard of United Nations? You know United? Yeah, nations meaning countries. So there is an association of all the countries. India also is a part of United Nations. Okay, no other questions, right? Wonderful, thank you. Mantraa, how do you like this interaction today morning when you are so-called not well? Even not going to the school today, 27 Wednesday, June 2012. What do you feel about this interaction? It's a very cold, real. Don't answer to this question because I am your mentor. I am your father. Say what do you really feel. Of course, as a dancer. About this interaction.
While you was talking to me, I did not feel that I had illness.
Once again?
While you was explaining, I did not know that I had an illness.
Okay, 1, 2.
I had many thoughts that how you could get such ideas.
That's what you thought, huh?
And I feel that while you were talking to me, I did not even know whether the time was going.
Oh, I see. That's beautiful.
And when I was talking about the mentor, I was remembering the training class. And
So do you think any other father in the world will interact with a daughter of your age? And especially in this condition like this?
I don't think so. Because till now nobody has created like you said, intellect.
Yeah, that you know. Okay, very true. That's okay. Many fathers think that they cannot interact like this, so they can interact like this. All this go into your unconscious internal dialogue domains, provided you have understood the meanings of whatever I said. You understood all the meanings of whatever I said. So that is the beginning gate. Next, after some time you will understand the concepts of what you have understood. And after some more time you will see the reality of that. Referent reality. What I call referent reality. Okay. And this book is also about referent reality perception. Great managers, great teachers even, great professors, really people there in India, many of them. They will not talk the crux of their knowledge to children. What they do, let's say good manager, vice president or whoever, they don't talk about, let us say, the decisions in the companies. I'm not talking about the secrets and all this, what are the issues of decision making, what are the experiences, how did he manage it and all that. Most of them do not even read books in their homes. Most children do not see their father or mother sitting down before a table and studying something, trying to understand about something. Most of the children do not even use the word thinking in their lifetime. Because nobody talks about, I am thinking. Even the thinking fathers, those who actually think, let us say a manager is sitting at home, or a professor or a teacher is sitting at home really thinking about something, how to conduct the class tomorrow. And a little child, a child like you would come and ask, Amma, what are you doing? Nothing, Mama. Okay, what do you want? See? She thinks that this is not important for the child. A child will not understand this. But what has happened here? That you know. And whenever you ask me, I will tell you what I am doing then. Right? This is what a mentor father should do if he wants to develop the intellects of his beloved son or daughter. They are all doing something. They are all like anybody else doing some teaching, about 70 to 80 to 90% of teaching and little bit of training. Without any clarity, they don't know. As I told you, even Edward B. Burr do not know what is teaching and training. Even psychologists do not talk about the difference between teaching and training. That's why we do this book, okay? So most of the parents do the work of teaching and training. They don't do mentoring. They are also teaching children like other gurus about God, about many wonderful things. See, because everybody does it, because it is a common thread or threat. Every father, mother talks about the supremost so-called God to children. Even to a 1-year-old kid. Okay. And they themselves collectively claiming no clarity about the way of the God or the spirit of the energy. Or they themselves agreeing that it is the most powerful and invisible force. They talk about that to children. Am I right? You ask all your classmates, they all know about God. They all say, I know about God. You ask them about genius. You ask them about creativity. You ask them about even dance or music or short story or painting or poetry. They don't know. See? They don't know about the world. They don't know even about completely about Alanduri. They don't know about Coimbatore. They don't know about the history and traditions and the reality of Tamil Nadu. With the point.